2024 to 2025, Kevin Owens was a monster. In a span of 5 months, he took Randy Orton out with a pile driver, he stole the Winged Eagle WWE Championship, almost ended Cody Rhodes in their ladder match at the Royal Rumble, and nearly paralyzed Sami Zayn in their unsanctioned match. But in April, he got taken out with an injury. But still, in those 5 months, he had done more damage than anyone has in this past year on the main roster. But what if I told you that this wasn't even Kevin Owens in his most dangerous form? 2014 to 2017, Kevin Owens was a complete hazard to society. He was a narcissistic, egotistical, selfish person who wouldn't think twice about crossing his best friend if it meant getting one step closer to the championship, which is something he actually did. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were best friends. They tagged during the indies, they faced each other during the indies, they traveled together through the craziest weather conditions where they had to eat roadside foods like street side tacos and gas station glizzies. So you could basically say that they came up together. So when Sami Zayn finally won the NXT title at NXT R Evolution, you could say that he made it, and everybody in the back came out to give him celebratory hugs and congratulations. But out of everybody in that group, one person's congratulations meant more to him than anybody else, and that was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens gets in the ring and hugs Sami Zayn. They get out and they start to walk to the back. But then there was a problem, mostly on Kevin Owens' end, because he realized that as Sami is the champion, that means he was the man at NXT, and that he technically was better than Kevin. He was already bitter that Sami got to WWE before him, but Sami being the champion and he wasn't made him sit. So he threw away years of friendship, turned on Sami, and powerbombed him on the apron. This was a minor setback, but everybody knows it's lonely at the top, and Sami was gonna get his revenge. He was set to face Kevin Owens at the next NXT pay-per-view for the NXT title, and he knew Owens like the back of his hand. This was gonna be a breeze, right? No, he got his butt whooped. He got his butt whooped so bad that the ref started to feel bad for him, and he had to call off the match and award Kevin Owens the NXT title. And he never got his revenge. Like Kevin Owens, he came out on top. Like he was the bad guy, and the bad guy won in the end. And it's kind of crazy. And you would think like, okay, Kevin Owens, he got his title, like he should be calm, he should be collected. Like no, this was just the beginning. The worst was yet to come. So months after powerbombing MGK off the Raw stage, Kevin Owens would align himself with Chris Jericho to make Jericho. And this had to be the most diabolical tag team since Rated R KO, because not only did you have Kevin Owens, one of the biggest menace in WWE at the time, but now you have Chris Jericho, who is one of, if not the best mental masterminds in WWE history. These two were low-key running Raw for a couple months. Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion, Chris Jericho eventually became the United States Champion, and you could say that these two were best friends, especially on Jericho's end. Chris Jericho was a D1 glazer of Kevin Owens. He was always gassing him up. He helped Kevin Owens retain his title multiple times, but the spotlight wasn't just all Kevin Owens. Jericho would have his moments too, specifically with the list of Jericho. The list of Jericho was just a list of stupid idiots. It was filled with people who either said something stupid, did something stupid, or just overall looked stupid. Jericho managed to get a piece of paper and a clipboard over, clicking his pen, saying, "You just made the list," in the most Karen voice ever. It was good times. And for Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, everything was running smoothly until the February 6, 2017 episode of Raw, where Jericho would make one fatal mistake. So Goldberg showed up to this episode of Raw and he challenged Kevin Owens for a match at Fastlane for his Universal title. But Kevin Owens was not worried about Goldberg, but Jericho was like, nah, you're light work for Kevin Owens. And he accepted the challenge on Kevin Owens' behalf. And it was at this point that Kevin Owens realized that Jericho's usefulness was up. Jericho, being the mental mastermind he was able to realize something was off. So he created the Festival of Friendship to show his appreciation for Kevin Owens. He got him paintings, gifts, Gilbert, and he told Kevin Owens that he was his best friend, and this past year was the best year in WWE he ever had. And Kevin Owens, realizing it's a Festival of Friendship, so he wanted to get Jericho a gift as well. He got him a new list, and as Jericho opened up his gift, he says one of the most heartbreaking things in Raw history.
How come my name's on this?
Kevin Owens, with the most devious look on his face, attacks Jericho, beats him up like he did Sami Zayn, and ends their friendship, all because of one mistake. Jericho and Owens would get into a feud where in the end, Kevin Owens would take Jericho's United States title and send him out, but again, it doesn't stop there. It gets even worse. Because let's remember, Kevin Owens is a prize fighter. And as big as a menace as Kevin Owens is, he'll take out anybody that gets in the way of getting that prize, even if it's the boss himself. So after destroying Jericho, Kevin Owens gets into a feud with AJ Styles, where he would eventually lose the title in that feud. But in the process of that feud, he starts to have problems with Shane McMahon, as during the title fight between Styles and Owens, Shane was the guest referee. And in my opinion, Shane McMahon robbed Kevin Owens of a title win. A 3 count is a 3 count, but in my opinion, he robs him. And this causes tension to build between Shane and Kevin Owens, which would eventually lead to Kevin Owens threatening to sue, which is a word that grabs the attention of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vince McMahon confronts Kevin Owens, but this is not the same Vince that fought Hogan and Michaels at WrestleMania. No, 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 no. This is an old, retired, pays his monthly Life Alert subscription Vince McMahon, who was not ready for physical altercation. But we gotta remember, this is Kevin Owens we're dealing with, and he doesn't care. During their confrontation, Vince insults his character, calls him broke, bankrupt, and fat. He makes a match between Shane and Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell, but most importantly, they make a deal that Kevin Owens can't get fired if he beats a McMahon senseless if provoked. Vince agrees, and then Kevin Owens beats him senseless. He headbutts him, Vince starts to bleed, he super kicked Vince, and Vince had fallen and he couldn't get up. So Kevin Owens went to the top turnbuckle and hit him with a frog splash. It was next level disrespect. So Kevin Owens was set to face Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. But the thing about Shane McMahon is that he was battle tested. This is the same Shane that went toe-to-toe with the most demonic version of Kane in 2003. The same Shane that went up against Prime Randy Orton in 2009. The same Shane that walked in the Undertaker's safe space of a Hell in a Cell in an event where the Undertaker was 25-1. So clearly, he's not afraid of the smoke. But none of that would matter, because Kevin Owens would go on to beat Shane McMahon with the help of Sami Zayn, of all people, in their Hell in a Cell match. And over the next year, Kevin Owens would do heel things, but unfortunately, he would get injured. He leaves for 4 months and he comes back, but he wasn't the same. He'd have his heel moments every now and then, but it wasn't on the level of 2014 to 2017 Kevin Owens. And everyone else might have forgot how dangerous of a heel he actually was, but I didn't. I will never forget about Prime Kevin Owens.